unmute the microphone.
I mean, I'm still only at 44.
I mean, we're not doing ideal, but we're here.
Yeah.
22 out of 79.
22.
Wow.
Arthur?
22 out of
Oh, yeah.
79.
It's not supposed to be
Two
one of
it's
those
technically
Two
like
first
each
level
one.
spells.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you get
We're
your
not
Sorcery
Yep.
points.
I had one fourth level. My only spell left was a fourth level spell.
I was converting
Yeah.
I was converting spells into sorcery points.
Arthur was healthy, but he spent like most of the fight charmed or paralyzed,
This is true. I mean, that's kind of
You got-
because I got stunned.
stunned up in the rafters for a while too.
Yeah, so I was kind of just hanging out for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then when we wrapped up at the end, the clouds finally broke over Barovia. The sun shone again, and Sergei Vonzarovich appeared to you and thanked you basically, and asked if he could accompany you back to Wallaki, because he would like to try and find Tatiana, who you guys know as Irina. So we pick up tonight, heading back down the Svalich Road into Wallaki. And it's a very strange experience walking through Barovia now. It's not quite, birds singing in the meadows, sound of music kind of happiness, but
I don't have a bluebird landing on my shoulder.
you're not like Snow White.
I think
with like
it's just a normal. Like,
It's just like a normal woods
right?
place
Instead
now,
of there
yeah.
being like weird witches that bake children into pies.
I mean, they're still around.
Some weird witches.
Yeah.
Just maybe they don't make eat children.
Yeah, maybe not.
There are a couple things that we would probably want to do.
Fuck if
we
witches
had
aren't. Yeah, fuck them witches up. Let's do
I'm thinking of the hag.
Sure.
Yeah.
Baba Saga.
Yeah.
There-
Speed.
Down in Perez.
You think this is our last night, but we have a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
actually,
things
we
planned.
want to do some stuff.
Although, honestly, I would want to. I would want to go home.
Yeah, I think all of us would be like, fuck this place.
I don't
Done enough.
trust this place enough. If we have a chance to get home,
I don't trust Gregory enough. He's gonna take over.
These are all of the types of things that you can talk about on your walk home. And also, I mean, you can talk
Are we
to,
walking off into the sunset?
I
not
don't-
just yet, not just yet.
Yeah. I
You're
think
kind of walking off into the sunset, literally speaking, with Sergei back towards Balaki.
Okay.
But no, we're not done quite yet. So you make camp for the evening, and it is pleasant. I mean, it's sitting around.
courtyard of the castle, or
We can actually see more than like
Yeah,
50
like
feet
the
in front
moon,
of
the
us.
stars are out. The first time you've seen the stars in Barovia since you've been here. Constellations that you do not recognize from back in Faerun. And Sergei just recounts stories of his youth with Strahd and their father, and the early days of Barovia before it was plagued by all this darkness. And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and you make like a nice roaring campfire, tell stories, sing songs. Do any of you have instruments?
I feel,
Wait,
yeah,
I
feel
do.
like Arkin does. Why do I feel like Arkin does?
Yeah. Arcade is not a performer.
Not a performer of the music?
No, no.
I am proficient in like.
So can I ask, while they're looking, can I ask Sergei a question?
That's it, of course, absolutely.
And Sergei, I was just wondering, did you see it coming? Like, I mean, did you start to see signs that that your brother was Did it kill you?
Oh, no, never that. He always had a desire for power. As a warrior in my father's army, coming up as a prince, he was always more of the warrior fighter prince. So I knew he wanted the throne, but I had never thought that his jealousy, that his desire would be so strong for the throne and for Tatiana that he would go to the lengths of treating with the spirits of the Amber Temple.
So, quick question. So what exactly happened? The fact that he wants what is extensively a reincarnation of Tatiana, and you want the same? Can we? What? Yeah.
I just want to meet her.
So what was she exactly supposed
She was
to
my
do?
betrothed.
This was a lover's quarrel gone wrong? Kind of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. To sum it up.
That clears the air a little bit.
Yes. No, I don't want to steal her. If she's happy, then I'm happy. But
Well, I feel like she's probably over all this, so
Yeah, I
keep
mean,
that on the down low.
somewhere between being chased by Strahd for
And then
how
the brother doing it
Yeah.
now, so and then keep being called Tatiana.
what should Irina? That is what she is called.
Yes, please don't mess it up.
I mean,
I can do this.
I
can do this.
I would just be, but I wouldn't
Say
think
it with me. I
I
ring
ring.
And
Just Tatiana.
I ring. Tatiana.
I'm really just playing the whole like, 'cause she is a different person thing. Like, you're also
Do you
supposed.
think she'll like me? I mean,
More than
Can I roll? To see
Yeah,
how,
that's true.
I guarantee. I
roll.
promise
See
you,
how hot
more than your. Would you like me
roll
to
a
summon?
d10.
Have we had a long rest?
We have not had a long rest yet.
It's okay.
Because I want to summon the morning wolf and ask him that question.
Her brother is.
Irina. Oof.
He just
Hey,
Her brother's is work, right?
her brother is Esmar.
Hey, remember the augury spell? I could use it now to ask the morning wolf.
Do you have
also-
enough
he-
spell
he
slots?
Also dead.
It doesn't use a
He
spell
also-
slot.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
using.
yeah.
It's a ceremony.
It's using the. It's using.
ritual.
Yeah.
Ritual,
He's
yeah.
very sunken in. He looks, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just came back to life.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's really your personality, and like Gregory. It's like, nope.
Gregory, that's harsh even coming from you.
Are you
She
sure?
does have a
At
brother.
some point.
It's Mark.
A brother.
A brother. Yes. Irina has a brother. His Mark.
Okay.
They were
It's new information.
the children of the Burgermeister, Master Burger. I know, I want to say it all the time. Of the town of Barovia.
Okay. Alright. That's
But
absorbing
I mean, again,
a different timeline, apparently.
how long have you been dead for exactly? I mean, we saw your body, we know that, but like, if you had to give it a rough ballpark number.
I don't know. Probably somewhere in the realm of 400 or 500 years.
I mean, I think you look pretty good. I think that 3 should be like a 7. And that if we're
It's 7 for being just
Thank-
dead.
thank
You know,
you.
you're
Yeah.
7 for being
I
dead.
have read this, your brother's journal. It is very interesting. It has a lot of his thoughts. Would you want this?
I mean, no, I think I have closure on that subject.
Understood. I figured I'd offer.
I think maybe the best thing we could do is
Burn it.
Burn it,
burn
yeah.
it.
Can I?
Gregory like warms up another disintegrating.
Well, there's a fire right sitting in between us. Why don't you just put it in the fire?
Flayron as team building as this entire experience.
Do I know
Moving
if
to the any
we
amount of
destroy it, all the benefits I've gotten from it go
Like
away?
your modifiers and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, they go away. If you're no longer attuned to it.
Can we hold on to it for a while?
I mean, Strahd's dead. The spirit is dead. There's no harm in it, is there?
it is a magical item and it has benefits for me.
Well, that's what I'm
But
saying.
I figured I,
I mean,
would offer
if it has
to-
meaning to you, I say
as
you
a
keep
magic item.
it. For myself, I don't need to read my brother's
Yeah,
journal.
it's like a hard name.
Yeah, it ups my charisma past.
You kind of need that. You know.
It seems a bad omen to keep something so evil. I really must insist that we should destroy it. It holds. I mean, it holds information that could easily fall into the wrong hands and be used against Barovia.
I don't think it can.
I don't think it can either. We destroyed the spirit that controls.
It
Strahd.
only had information that could harm one person. And we did that. We used it. So
Yeah, I mean, I think the most damning thing that's in the journal is that it explains what Strahd did to become a vampire lord, basically.
But-
Like, it explains the deal that he made with the spirit of vampire.
That's what I was thinking.
But the spirit's gone.
Vampire's not.
I would
Vampire is not gone.
Yeah.
That spirit is, but that spirit is no longer. How he obtained that spirit is no longer valid because we got rid of that spirit that was in his
We
sword.
we pushed it out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
how he did it in the book is going to be different than how someone else would do it now.
Did he,
Agreed.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
did he find that sword in the Ember Temple?
Yes. Well, it was given to him in the Ember Temple.
Just so you know, there are still a lot of interesting artifacts in the temple, as well as a lich.
That's
Still
right.
there, right?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Do we know what that? I mean, there was a giant statue in the middle of that temple. At the time, we didn't really know who that was, right?
Still there.
Sergey, do you know who the Amber Temple was? What deity the Amber Temple was built for?
The Amber Temple is older than Barovia itself. When my family settled in this place, the Amber Temple already existed and held secrets. The forces that reside in that place stretch back to the fracture of the gods themselves.
It's probably where the gifts come from the old gods.
Yeah, there are dark forces at work in the Amber Temple that predate even the Morning Lord.
So it couldn't even be. It might not even be possible to hallow that temple with the Morning Lord's power,
I don't know.
because
I don't
it
know if
might
you
predate
eradicated the effigies that are in the temple or severed whatever connection there is to the dark forces. But I can tell you this: I plan to stay in Barovia and to right the wrongs that my brother perpetrated on this land.
Well,
You are
there,
the king. I mean, I would hope you would stay.
there are some wrongs that may have been connected to your brother, but not of his creation.
Yeah, you are not responsible for your brother.
I am responsible for this land.
I mean, he is part of your bloodline, but you know, I
I feel like that makes me pretty responsible for him.
believe in you, Sergey.
There is a group of Visconti that you should probably talk to. Madame Eva would be able to guide him.
It's been a while since we've seen her.
Well, think there are a few places that we could let him know.
The winery.
Oh, yes.
Well, there's the winery.
He just pulls out like a journal and
Yeah.
just starts taking
There's a
notes.
winery. I would definitely go back there.
Wizards of the Coast of the Wines.
That winery still exists.
Yes,
It
they,
does.
they've been around for a long time.
They've
you know.
rebranded a few times.
Well, I
Yes.
think the wine has fallen off
Mm.
from where it used to.
You used to be able to buy wine by the glass.
Yeah.
Now, can you still buy wine by the glass, or do you have to buy whole bottles?
You have
you can still
to
buy.
sign up for a
I think
membership.
you can
Ah,
I
light,
think it's
but
it's a bi-monthly biannual membership.
There is a
course.
an item that
they used to support
Wine.
smaller wineries also.
Yeah.
those are all
They've
gone.
kind of-
No, I think they've realized that wasn't.
I don't think they bought them out. I
Approval.
think the land wasn't kind to any others.
Yeah.
They needed those items
You know,
to.
sometimes when you have a great idea, everybody tries to run with it, but you're
Sure.
the one that gets to want to run with it.
There is a hag
They have a lot of lawyers now.
Yeah.
in
Fastan
Perez, in the
lawyers.
swamps of Perez, that has one of the special seeds, the special things that the winery needs.
I love killing hags. I think that sounds
It
like a
is-
favorite pastime.
It is the seed is embedded in her hut, and from what I've heard, it animates her hut.
Sergey,
Wait, the hut. The hut.
it's an animated
The
feature,
hut.
yes.
Wait, you're familiar?
Slightly, I was delved into a little bit of transmutation back in the day.
So her hut can like get up and like walk around.
That is the rumor.
For reference, Sergey is a 17th level paladin.
I just kind of fuck up.
I'm just saying, like, he's strong.
He's seen some shit.
He's seen some shit.
Sergey, you have a lifetime of cleanup ahead of you.
I kind of figured.
I'm not one to say that this is your responsibility, not your responsibility. It's a valiant effort, no matter how you look at it. But
I take out the map and start making notes on it.
This is very productive.
Sergey, when was the last time you had a drink? 400 or 500 years ago.
400 or 500 years, I suppose.
Well, I think it. Well, we have a little
not
bar.
I understand
Not-
that the
not-
vampires
Well,
were
there's never been a
keeping a
vampire.
very nice supply of wine in the cellar
I mean,
of the castle.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Oh, yes.
So you might want to check that out when you get back.
yes.
I have some redecorating to do.
I mean, if you need some
Lot
help
of
moving
blood.
the wine, let me
A
know.
lot of
Okay.
skeletons and
Yeah,
skulls.
you
and
probably still have some vampires roaming around there too, by the way.
Yes.
This list is getting longer and longer. Escher, he's still in the castle?
Asher's still there.
Well,
He's still in the castle as far as we know.
That leech. And he's a vampire now?
Unfortunately.
What was his backstory?
Spawn, I believe.
I mean, he was
Yes,
he was
Spawn.
just one of the aristocrats, one of the nobles that lived in
That's
Barovia.
right. He still is.
Yeah.
He just likes to drink different types of wine, a different type of wine now.
And there are witches, I think, housed near Escher.
This is a lot of information to take
I
in.
will say-
I'm gonna do this.
Escher did
I'm
not.
just gonna go place by place and kill everything that's evil.
Can't put my finger on if he's evil or not.
Escher?
Yeah.
He did try to suck Gregory's neck.
He did.
Gregory kind of like.
But like,
Definitely.
and then Sergey leans over and he's like, "Oh,
I mean, probably, but no.
Definitely a whole record too. It sounded like he fucked every woman in there.
I mean, somebody's gonna do it.
wow.
And he's like a 9.
Say a solid 9.
Yeah.
Did the act of like jettisoning the spirit of Impure affect any of the evil in this land or no?
Give me a religion check.
I'd say 25.
You can tell just by the brief observances that you have of like the wildlife flying around and stuff, that it seems more like the wolves and the animals that you're used to back in Faerun. Like, whereas before you always felt like you were being spied on by all the creatures around you,
Yeah.
like you were always being watched. Now they kind of just like run from you. It seems like whatever dominion Strahd had over the wildlife and the nature in Barovia is severed, and it's just acting normally now.
But that's not gonna affect like the witches and the vampires. It's just gonna
Correct. Like, nothing is dead just because Strahd died, but a lot of his influence over everything has kind of been severed to where now, like, say, where the witches before sort of served him, they just have their own, they serve themselves now. So there are still witches in Barovia, there are still werewolves.
Are the hags the sisters? Bella and Morgana's sisters. They're still around, aren't they?
Well, we didn't fight the witches in the tower. We skipped.
No. I'm talking about the windmill.
We killed.
Killed Morgana.
Killed one, right?
Morgana.
Yeah.
One
we did kill
did
Bella.
find me on the trail when I was trying to catch up with you, and
yeah. That,
somehow entranced me, and
we had a child. Yeah.
I
Yeah, child.
might have been forced to eat something
A tree
that
pie.
I would never choose to eat,
They are delicious.
We've all been there.
but I did not. So I don't remember much, but we never.
Yeah, I can't remember the
Wait,
the other
she
sisters.
did confront us. We did stop her. Because wait, when I got off my when Marge pulled me off the horse and I was still fighting you guys, she did appear to us, didn't she? I think you guys were fighting her. Out of character. I am saying what I think happened.
I can't.
I was fighting you guys.
Right.
But you were
Yeah.
also fighting something else.
Yeah.
And I think it was the witch. Or the hag. I think it was the hag.
I haven't had
Because she did appear, and
painted.
I 100% know that she appeared when you guys figured out that I was controlled. And
I rolled an 18.
I think
trying to
you guys
remember
fought.
Morgana's sisters, Bella and
that doesn't
This is not ringing a bell for me.
at all. Do you remember when I fought you guys?
yes.
Yeah. Why can't I remember?
But it wasn't just me you guys were fighting.
No.
Now,
I think it was the hag, and I'm pretty sure you killed her.
And me and you had to eat the pie to get into the.
yes.
So I do think it's only
Or
the final hag.
Agatha,
Yeah.
I think both his sisters are dead.
Bella,
I'm not known to have a great memory, so it's weird that I'm the one that's
and
remembering
Ophelia.
this.
Yeah.
He fight
Ophelia?
one, but she fought
Ophelia.
1,000. She's dead.
Yeah, I don't
Hag.
think I don't think we killed Bella or Ophelia.
Either one of
just
them?
Morgantha.
Just Morgana.
Because maybe they didn't show up. I think it was
Okay.
they weren't there.
Well, the
I
one
think-
was cooking in the one room that you walked through, and she didn't bother you, and you just walked past her
Right.
and let her continue.
Yeah, we were
during her
kind of like
cauldron.
not enough of a problem right now to address.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. But the
Okay.
definitely not a third.
Yeah. Well, I then go over to the.
Well, hey, maybe
I,
one of the hags was reborn too, so.
I circle the old
The
bone
old
grinder
grinder.
and mark Morgantha, Bella, Ophelia. Covet.
And so the storytelling and the detailed
Yeah, we're talking about
list,
the Bartikovs and the.
yeah, continues on throughout the
Raven
night
card.
and is a bit overwhelming.
I would imagine he's a little bit of.
Hey, while we're
Yeah.
kind of stuck in this a little bit, I need to clarify the thing that I wrote. When I looked it up, Sergei and Irina in the story were married.
Yeah.
They did not get married
They
yet.
were not married.
It was the night of their wedding that he was killed.
Yeah.
Night before their wedding.
And then she jumped
The
off.
night before the
The
wedding.
night before the wedding,
Yes.
Strahd killed him.
And then she jumped
And she
into the
jumped
mist
off of the cliff
Okay.
into the mists.
and disappeared.
Yes.
Okay.
So, you settle in for the night. Sergei has a very detailed list of all the cleaning up that he needs to do
Yeah.
in Barovia. And
I continue to make notes on them.
there's notes everywhere. Just everywhere.
The wines, Mordecai's.
And now you guys do get a long rest.
Yeah.
Thank God.
You wake up feeling refreshed for the first time in a very long time. I mean, like, you felt rested before, but this is like the first night where I feel like you maybe still have like a little bit of PTSD. Like, all of you sort of like woke up multiple times throughout the night to just double check that you weren't getting attacked by
Right.
vampires
I'm sure
in
that,
the
yes.
night. And each and every time one of you woke up, you noticed that Sergei was still awake and was just staring into the fire. And you get the impression that whatever he is now, like brought back from wherever he was,
Okay.
he doesn't need to sleep at least.
Seem good.
Give me another religion check.
To 21.
He is not undead. He is some sort of celestial.
So he came back as. Okay.
Like, think of what was it Leo, the angel in Charmed? It was Leo, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Think of like Leo. That's Sergei now.
It's just like a good.
He just looks like a dude. He's like a nice dude,
He's a guy's guy.
but he's an but he's an angel.
Is it-
If
Nothing
I
you can see.
Okay.
if I do wake up and see him awake, I will talk to him. Because I don't want it to be a surprise of what I am.
Okay. So you're gonna tell him.
What my origin is, and the fact that my biological father was one of Strahd's lieutenants.
I think, well, there's probably an initial gut reaction of, oh, like you're part vampire. Sergei realizes that it is not by your choosing, and that you have essentially spent your life trying to seek vengeance. He doesn't necessarily agree with your methods, or like with the idea of vengeance in general. But he can respect the fact that for whatever your purposes are, you tried to create something good out of your circumstances. So there's a little bit of judgment, but
Seeing as I don't need to sleep, Gregor would be awake for this entire thing. Is he sitting by the fire? What is he doing exactly?
just literally just sitting by the fire, staring at it.
Gregor walks over. Sergei, I hope I'm not startling you here.
No. Just thinking.
What exactly is your plan with all this?
Just read my note.
I want to see Irina. See if maybe there's some world in which she remembers me in some way. Maybe she has memories, kind of like our friend Arkin here from a different life. And want to restore the people of Barovia and this land to the glory that it should have been under the Von Zarovich reign.
So, what happens then, though? Like, I can't exactly say this. You're human now. No offense, but whatever has brought you back.
I suppose I'm something else now.
Whatever has brought you back for this reason. I don't know. You give it any thought to what happens after your job's done?
Maybe I'll be at peace then. Maybe I move on. Maybe I stay. I don't know.
I'll be frank with you. This isn't a conversation I've had with any of the group, but it's something that I was tempted to take your brother's mantle. Had it been a different power, I very well may have. And the reason I'm giving you this level of transparency is here that I felt important here for the first time in a long time. And I would like to retain that level of importance. If you are in need of, well, lieutenant, co-worker, cohort, however you prefer to word it, someone to assist you with your goals and in the inevitability that you retire or leave this realm, you need someone to oversee things. I am an elf, and I do live for quite some time, so between the two of us, I do think we'd be well equipped to handle the remains of Barovia, but this is simply not something you can do on your own.
I must say I'm impressed with your level of loyalty to a people to which you don't belong. I would be honored to have you serve at my side. And he stands next to you and draws his sword, and he cuts your head right off.
Character after Gregory, guys. I'm not repeating the rest of the beer and
He
walk.
takes his sword.
You're on it.
You know, Sergey might want to do
a perception check
insight.
or an insight check.
Sergey?
Yeah,
What? Whether Gregory's lying or not?
his motives.
I mean, are you being deceptive?
No, I mean, like I said, I want to feel important. I want to feel like I have a stake in things, and I want there to be a level of power and responsibility that comes with. And Gregory feels that Barovia.
He stands and draws a sun sword, the spitting image of Marge's. This one's not on fire. Just a glass, looks like a glass
Broken.
sword. It's not broken or on fire. It just looks like a crystal sword. And he lightly taps you on your shoulders and he says, I dub thee Sir Gregory
Smith.
Smith, Knight of Barovia, Protector of the Realm. And he sheaths his sword and claps you on the back, and you pour a couple more glasses of wine and continue talking about your future plans for how you can start to revivify Barovia.
Gregory Smith was last minute decision. I made the character on the drive over to a campaign that I didn't think Michael was going to stick with 2 years ago.
I showed him, now he's been the elf Gregory Smith ever since. So, tuck in for the rest of the night, awake in the morning, see the sunrise at Barovia for the first time since you've been here. You've seen evidence that the sun was rising each morning. It got lighter, but you have not seen the actual sun rise, and it rises with this beautiful reddish-orange hue that just illuminates the countryside and casts the castle of Ravenloft into just like striking relief against the blue morning sky. And you realize that Barovia is actually a very beautiful, mountainous, forested land when not dominated by true and utter evil.
Marge crumbles to dust.
Yeah, March turns to stone
Why would
as
I-
the sun rises.
No, no.
Why would I?
You know.
No, vampire. It's not.
Oh. Mine? Did I turn?
Did something happen?
I don't remember that part. Oh yeah, you were bit.
I was back during the
Yeah.
hag.
You were bit, and we
That's
just
when-
never got around
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of
It
forgot.
was that night I missed that
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
cut
we-
that off the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Difficulties.
That one night I missed.
You turned into a vampire. You turned into a vampire that night. That night you were sick, you became a vampire. You head back to Balaki.
Yeah.
A few hours journey.
I'm still furiously putting notes on
On the map.
On the map.
And Sergey's like leaning over and looking at it every once in a
Keepers
while.
of the feather
Keeps
kind.
shaking his head.
Yeah.
As you approach the town of Balaki, you notice that the stakes that used to be outside the town with the wolf's
Well
heads
said. Yeah.
on them are gone. And instead, they have something that looks kind of like a maypole outside the gates of the town. And little kids are running around in circles in the morning sunlight with strings of flowers.
Is this the first time we have encountered children in Barovia?
No.
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 No, remember
They're
how Arthur
rare.
would summon them?
Yeah.
They're rare, but
He threatened them and then said,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
This is the
There
first time you've
were
ever
a lot
seen-
more children in Velaki than there were in
in
Barovia.
Barovia,
Yeah.
in the town. No, this is not the first time you've seen children. This is the first time you've seen children having fun, though.
Actually happy.
Yes, happy. Yes, absolutely. Because what you guys came to realize is that the Barovians, most of them, had become soulless over time.
Yeah.
From the constant reincarnation and being trapped in this like demi-plane, they had lost their souls. There weren't enough souls to go around for all the people.
Right.
So a lot of people just went through life purposeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Along the way, I also would have been using. I'm sure he and I would be using mending on our equipment so that we're not, huge gouges and
not a bad
Yeah.
idea.
Blood
Preparing the armor and
spattered.
stuff.
I'd like
Yeah.
to think it doesn't look like we just massacred a bunch of people, or got almost massacred ourselves.
You guys do look kind of dirty, though.
yes,
Yeah, it's been a while since we did a bath.
Yeah.
it's
You've been on the road and skulking around like the crypts of a castle for weeks now. So,
That's
yeah. I mean,
right there,
we
I'll
can
tell ya.
we can use precipitation to clean our clothes, but
Could.
not ourselves.
Not ourselves.
No,
I feel like
unfortunately.
we're awfully used to the scent.
you could also probably like
I
take
could-
baths once
I
you
could-
get to
yeah.
the blue
I
water.
could just like tie it away with us.
Yeah.
No,
That's one way to get clean.
No.
I think like after walking, Marge has always been closer to Gregory. So she looks at you and is like, "You're glowing this morning. Did something happen last night?"
Nice. Sergey and I we fell in love.
Sergey was like taking his sip of water from his plastic tube. He just like coughs his water up.
That just doesn't surprise me.
Can I see if I can determine if that was the truth or not?
I mean, you can roll insight,
Okay.
and you can tell her whatever you want to or don't want to
Right,
tell her.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to be deceptive, just roll a deception check against her
An
insight.
11.
I don't want to tell just you. I want to tell the group, and I want to tell the group like while we're all sitting down together, like
Okay.
when we're at the bar. Do you?
So you just explain to her like you want to tell her later.
You fell in love. Are you sticking with that?
I thought it was you and his work.
It's a little complicated, and it's something that I would prefer to explain once things have calmed down a little bit this evening.
Gregory,
Maybe
your
over a
love
bottle of
life is
wine or
always
three.
complicated. Because now Irene is gonna be like, "Oh, my brother, and now my lover."
Right? It's small Debbie pudding. What do you want?
All trapped here together. As you sort of like laugh it off and make your way
So-
into
Blue water?
into Velaki, but yeah, eventually to the blue water.
Right.
The priest, Father Lucian, and Irina and Ismark all come running up the pathway to greet you guys and welcome you back. And they greet you all with like warm embraces, and Arena is sort of like going around to each of you, welcoming you home, and she stops and she looks at Sergei, and
Gregory pulls some popcorn out of his backpack and like leans up against Marge.
you see her eyes like they glass over for a moment, and she like shakes her head like she just like had some sort of epiphany or recollection, and you recognize it's very similar to like what would happen with Arkin when his memories from two different lives would sort of like clash with each other.
Right.
And she looks at him and she's like, I know you're from somewhere.
Marge tries to get Sergei's attention and now Arena.
And Sergei smiles and bows to her, and he says, "Madam, my name is Sergei von Zarovich, and who might you be?" And she takes his hand and introduces herself, and he says, "Arena, that is a beautiful name. I feel like we've met before." And he just like looks over at Gregory, and he's like. And she's like, I feel the same, but I don't understand. I feel like I've known you my whole life. And after a few minutes, the conversation kind of dies down. Settles into like, I feel like I know you from somewhere, but I'm not sure where.
Right.
Welcome back to the town. Like everything's good.
Gregory being like the chaos goblin he is, it's just like, Irina dear. So you remember how like Strahd was insistent that you were some other bitch named, I think Tatiani? Tatiana, thank you.
Sergei just like elbows you in the side.
Oh shit. We think there's some truth to that, and in all reality, Sergei was killed over Tatiana, who was his betrothed.
And Sergei's eyes just kind of drop to the ground as Arena asks if that's true. And Sergei recounts the story, like on your guys' way to the Blue Water.
Yeah.
Sergei recounts the story of their love, of their relationship, their betrothal, and subsequently of the night leading up to their wedding, how the last thing he remembers is Strahd confronting him on the tower at the castle and running him through with a sword as his eyes turned red. And you see tears running down Arena's face. And she says, I remember now. I remember that Strahd killed you. That I couldn't handle the grief and I threw myself into the mists. And then I remember blackness swallowing me up. And the next thing I knew, I was Arena. And she looks at him and she like reaches up to like touch his face and she goes, Sergei. And he starts to say Tatiana. He goes, Arena, I apologize. I do my best. She says, I've missed you. I didn't even know that I missed you. And you enter into the Blue Water, feeling a little overwhelmed by what's happening with Sergei and Arena, but also very excited because you see that the Blue Water is lively. Like, it is the place to be right now. It is popping. And the Mardikovs, Erwin, he rushes up to you and he grabs Marge by her shoulders and like spins her around in a circle and sits her on top of a table. And he's like, "You're all getting drinks. You did it. You did it, you bastards. I knew you could do it."
Gregory's like, say less.
And he just starts, you see that he walks over to one of the nice casks of wine that he had, like the reserve wine.
Yes, no, this is a celebration.
And he starts filling mugs for all of you and hands you all mugs of the reserve wine. And Irina and Sergei go off to sit at a table in a corner and talk. And Ismark runs over to you, Gregory, and puts an arm around your shoulder, and he says, "My friend, I'm very glad to see you again. I must admit, I was worried that you would not make it back."
Gregory turns to him and puts a hand on his chest and goes, "Friend? That's what we're gonna go
I
with.
don't want to be presumptuous.
I mean, you can be as presumptuous as you like in that situation, my dear." Gregory leans in and gives him a kiss.
I was just about to say. Ismark grabs Gregory by his hair and pulls him back and kisses him.
Because now she's already had a glass. She's Gregory, if you don't tell him what you did last night, I will.
March.
Is everybody at the
Yeah, you guys are at your
This needs to
regular.
happen sooner rather
You
than...
guys are at your regular table.
Okay. Gregory looks at everyone and goes, and like...
I believe it is this table here.
Yeah. Just imagine Ismark is a little confused right now. Are Sergey and Irina with us?
They
Are they off?
Irina and Sergey are off.
They're off in the corner talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Well, they're
it's,
the first
it's
two
just
together.
it's just the four of us plus Ismark.
Okay.
Marge is on top of the table.
Right. Yeah.
So that we can all eye contact. Right?
Drunk on top of the table.
Yeah, I will help. Well, actually, the five of us. Since Arthur.
Arkin would be there too.
Yeah, I help you down so you're not on the table.
I
I know.
Yeah.
like, how dare you?
I can't argue. Miniature. Not bad.
It's all good.
You help her down to her seat.
I don't do it that. I have her like step onto the chair. There.
Very nice, very polite.
considerate.
Yeah, I don't do the. No.
I guess the easiest way to say this is stay.
What are you?
What?
What's going on?
I know I didn't
What's
know,
going on, Gregory?
I know I didn't know many of you outside of this life. I wasn't exactly what you would call important, skilled, or, well, worth much, and I'm sure none of you are surprised that the thought crossed my mind of taking the mantle and sword.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't.
Thank you.
He would have accepted it. I had a talk.
Actually, still, why didn't you take it?
It wasn't particularly what I was looking for, and
It's not the master you wanted to serve.
no. And to put things quite simply, there's a lot of repair that needs to be done here, and as much as returning to Faerun would be interesting after all this time, I don't have a desire to stay here to help Sergei and, well, to be important, to gain that power, to gain that responsibility, that respect that comes with making, well, something better.
So it is still about power then.
I mean, it's still a little selfish. This is me, let's be completely honest, but at the same time...
I appreciate the. I believe you.
Yes.
Marge just totally like glassed over.
I had
She's
offered
there.
as well. I actually talked to Strahd.
What's that?
I actually talked to Strahd. I offered as well.
Arthur's like, I never got to talk to Strahd.
Fascinating.
He didn't like us that much at that point.
I mean, I'm not sure how a normal group of adventurers going to there would have went, but
We were a bit too much trouble for him.
We did kill him, yes.
No, I meant, well, before that.
Yeah.
It's weird because he wanted to play toy with us, but then he also was looking for someone to carry his mantle.
Agreed, but I think we caused enough trouble in the lands that he no longer wanted to.
I don't think he really trusted us with the mantle.
Oh, he did not.
But that's my big secret. As much as I wish that handsome celestial in the corner talking to a reincarnated version that was dead the truth that I got it on last night, it was simply this conversation that I had with him.
I'm frankly, Gregory, I'll be I don't think it's a surprise. I've never held you in the highest esteem, but I'm impressed, and I think I've misjudged you, and for that I apologize.
Gregory, it leans in respect, gives you a little bow, and it's like, I do appreciate the sentiment here. It was not a particularly easy decision to make, and I will miss all of you dearly, but I feel like my time for now needs to be here.
Arthur,
Tears.
Arthur strokes his goatee and he's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm
As,
gonna go take over the Zenream. There's money to be made."
Yeah.
the Zentarum?
Oh, my friend.
That was
Oh snap!
in
I'm gonna
character.
go. No. What I meant to say was, I'm gonna meet back up with my associates when I get back to Waterdeep, and hopefully make a
This
little.
will be an interesting
money.
conversation on the way to the game.
I would be careful with that one. I mean, as careful as we have, but I mean, can we just acknowledge that he's still here?
And as much as I want to fix the things that we haven't fixed, I want to get the hell out of here too.
I feel like, and Arthur's like looking. He's like, I feel like you're in pretty good hands with
I
the
think
glowy
there's
guy in the corner and the powerful wizard.
the wizard, right?
Theron gets quiet.
And I make a note about the wizard to the insane wizard to the north.
At the north of the lake. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Theron gets quiet and kind of strokes his beard and kind of takes
You
his
may
all
want
in.
to go talk to him.
Who?
The wizard to the north.
We gone over this yet, or have I completely forgotten?
No, we don't even know about him yet.
No? Fair.
What's up with Theron?
Theron kind of gets quiet and doesn't say a whole lot for the next moments as this continues, and he kind of just strokes his beard and kind of stares off into the distance and just kind of ponders everything, taking in what Gregory said and what everyone else is trying to do, and kind of just takes a beat and thinks about it.
Gregory has real concern for Marge's lack of anything in this situation, and he's saying, Marge, dear, I know this is not the conversation that you wanted to have. I do hope that you understand at the very least.
I feel like, and I've been struggling with this myself. I don't think I have a purpose when I get home.
Maybe you do. You have more power than when you arrived. And your desires to be a hunter.
Or a true vampire hunter. Like,
I think that would carry over to the Sword Coast.
there are vampires in the Sword Coast that you
Sure.
I feel like the vampires that are left here, I want to get rid of them.
Yes,
I
and,
feel
and
the-
I
the need
point
and the
I point over
purpose.
to the leading guy in the corner. I'm pretty sure he can handle those. With
Marge, it's entirely your decision. Say, I cannot say.
There's room for a vampire hunter?
Sergey.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yes.
Do you,
And you see that him and Arena are now holding hands at the table.
oh, that's cute. What are your thoughts on my friend, the fantastic vampire hunter, staying with us to assist in our cause here? Do you have any? I'm sure there's room in the
She's
cabin.
like, pulls
She also has one of these that's broken, but she has one of these.
the like scratching my head with it.
Is it still sun out when she pulls the?
Only when she activates it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, of course, if you want to stay, I could always use extra people to help rid us of the plague of vampires. No offense, my friend, my pale friend.
He's only half. He's only half. Well,
Yeah, I mean, you're my best friend.
don't stay on my account.
And that's I made a family, and like my purpose has changed.
And as you guys are having this conversation, the door to the tavern kicks open, and in strides an orc.
No.
And he scans the area, and in a voice that you have not heard in a long time, he says, "March! March!"
Oh, shit.
And she-
Falls off the table.
and running across the tavern to pick you up and squeeze you in an embrace that almost breaks your bones.
Like Theron stood up and was like ready to draw his
He was like sitting there like,
Is Breakbones the orc,
baby.
lovingly renamed BB. This was from
I forgot.
this
No idea
was
what's happening right
before you joined us.
This is right before. This is pre-murder house.
Yeah, I see. You guys had mentioned.
He was an orc that they
But
met.
I was like,
Says he rushes up to you and he says, "The mists, they're gone. There's no more mist. I walk through the woods. I'm looking for you, and
Baby, how?
I
how long
find
have you
I find
worked
big
for me?
statues. I walk through gates. I keep walking, and I find town, and I say, look for gnome. Blue hair, very mean. And they said they knew exactly who you were.
No. Gregory's sitting there with his mark now. They're just eating the pop.
She's just hanging on his neck.
He like has you just like on his shoulder, like, and he's just like telling you this story, like right to your face, and he's like, I thought you were gone. It's been 2 weeks, and no word from March the Gnome.
2 weeks.
Does he have a concept of time, or do we not have a concept of time?
It'd be 2 weeks. March gone.
I think it's
Baby, I know
Us.
that you don't have exactly like you didn't graduate high school, and you
No,
know
what is high school?
so
I graduated
you-
killing
do
college.
you understand what 2 weeks is?
It is
It's
8,
okay.
14 days.
Gregory,
2 weeks.
Gregory walks over to Sergey and he goes, "Hey, so sorry to bother you. Can you see this? I'm sure you've heard the giant mark that is. So he may need to stay with us. And well, the muscle, that's my selling point.
And loyalty.
Well, he's very loyal. Very loyal.
Oh,
Yes. You're also.
can we trust him?
March, she's like, I'm not for him.
The fact that he spent the last.
Fine, the more the merrier. There's room in the castle.
How long has it been?
For you guys,
Yes.
it's been like 6 months that you've been.
So, but it hasn't only been 2 weeks for the rest of the world.
Yes.
Why?
why not?
Time moves differently.
Yeah.
Fucking Barovia, man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly the reason why. Fucking Barovia, man.
Yeah.
And in through the door also walks Rictavio and a woman,
Yeah.
and they go. He gives you a nod and waves, and they head over to the bar and begin having drinks.
I look at the woman. Esmeralda.
Yes.
Isn't Rictavio the one that had the
tiger.
tiger that almost killed
Yes.
all the people in the town? And
Yeah, and as you look out the window of the tavern,
Mostly why there's not many children
you see
left.
you see tied to a post, scratching at it. You see a saber-toothed tiger just clawing at a wooden post outside, tied to it.
Gregory walks back over to Marge. Did BB put you down yet or no?
No. You have to look up to see.
No. Gregory climbs on BB's back. She's like, I love with you. Hello, BB.
Oh, hello, Gregory Smith.
You're so that name is instead.
You are a good friend to keep Marge alive, and he claps you on the back and sends you into the table.
Yep.
Phoebe, do you remember what we were working on when I was last with you?
Gentle touch.
Yeah, just like that.
Gentle touch.
pick him up and try again.
He grabs you by your throat and he stands you back up and gives you a nice light on the shoulder.
Thank you for that. Gregory's like fixing his hair. And like, you are both welcome.
Ismark takes one strand of your hair and tucks it behind one of your pointed ears.
It's great.
Aww.
And then the orc tries to help and just messes up.
No, we can leave them alone.
You're both welcome to stay in the castle.
I mean, also, I do have a lot of debts where I came from. So
Yeah.
there's also, it's only been
What?
2 weeks. They have not forgotten. So,
Was that Vampire Hunter College debt?
no.
Oh.
I was a little clumsy with my weapons, and I may have burned some things down, and
I
I'm
mean,
definitely gonna have a good
I
catch.
didn't know weapons could burn things.
I mean,
well, I feel like I handled this pretty well, so
I mean,
I mean, that weapon can burn things for sure. For sure.
March destructive.
But the weapons you showed up with, I
Tribal
didn't think that they could.
Primal force.
tribal force.
Blue hair.
Blue hair.
Hot fire.
Hot fire. Yes.
This is all very interesting.
Arcing.
Oh, break bones.
I'm sure you can.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Theron gets up and walks over to Octavio. And
It's so interesting that you come in here. The last time I saw you, you were fleeing town, and there was a giant tiger, kind of like the one out there, scratching at the
You mean
post,
Fluffy?
that almost murdered me.
Left.
Care to explain
She's
why
on there.
you led town?
Sorry. I mean, I think I should properly introduce myself.
You're responsible for almost killing a lot of people.
Well, I've also been responsible for saving a lot of people, so I say,
I
two
think
sides of the same
Gregory
coin.
also across the
Two sides of the same coin. I don't think we've ever properly met, though. And he extends a hand and he says, "The name's Rudolph. Rudolph Van Richten. Famed vampire hunter."
And as I'll
What?
I'll walk over and Esmeralda, your associate.
Yes, this is Esmeralda Davenier.
Where were you when
The last
we
2
were
years.
stuck fighting vampires, including Baron Strahd?
You don't think they're the only monsters in Barovia, do you?
They were the most threatening ones.
Marge is
Well-
like, I'm taking over.
I would say that the werewolf den over to the west might give him a run for his money. Don't worry, I took care of it.
Didn't
Wow.
I do that one?
We ran into some werewolves.
Yeah.
There was a pack.
Yeah. I apologize for the deception, but Strahd has been looking for me for quite a while now.
You
And
don't have to worry about that anymore.
yes, thanks to you lot. Well done. Cheers. Hip hip.
You may want to let, and I looked over at Sergey.
Mm-hmm.
You may want to let Sergey know that your services can probably be asked for.
Oh, I mean,
I will actually handle that as Sir Gregory Smith.
well, I
Sir Gregory.
wasn't
Yeah.
planning on staying in Barovia.
Really?
No,
Why not?
I'm taking my monster hunting adventures elsewhere.
Makes sense.
He says,
Huh.
what about that orc and the little one with the swords?
What about them?
Think they'd want to come join me?
The glass.
They are sticking around. You can ask.
And Rudolph comes over and reintroduces himself to you, Marge, and says, I hear you decided you might want to stay here and clean up the mess. I
That's the plan.
have an alternative offer for you. I'm looking to take my little circus gig / monster hunter adventure outside of this little bubble we call Barovia, and didn't know if maybe you wanted to make a pretty coin on the side, helping me slay monsters up and down the coast.
Just fuck. What's a BB? Just to see, to read his face.
He's like scratching his chin with like a big meaty hand. He says, "We kill monsters. Kill monsters good. We kill monsters here. We kill monsters there. We kill monsters everywhere."
I think you could leave me your car, but I think I'm gonna take up your position that you're leaving here.
Bloody good. I have a tower over by a lake in the west. Kind of decked it out. It's bedazzled with monster hunting things.
I pull out the,
Can I roll for Gator?
and I circle Vladimir.
Sure. It's a D6. It's a D6.
As soon as you said bedazzled, I was like, it's a 1.
And
One through 3 he was fan. 3 through 6 he was gay.
yeah. You circle Venricton's tower on the map.
Yeah.
And he said, "Wait, how do you know about my tower? It's a trade secret."
Not many secrets. Barovia,
Well, ain't that the truth?
after all.
He
Well,
says, "Well, yeah, I mean,
I have a few questions. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? How much does it cost to heat? Does BB fit through the doorway?
oh yeah, he'll be
Is there a
fine.
nice view?
He'll be fine. It's not. Oh yeah, it sits right on the lake. There's only one bedroom, but you two seem to be getting on pretty good. And I suppose you could always renovate a bit. I can leave Fluffy with you if you want. I trained her well.
I mean,
She loves killing the
has
Starny.
there been training since the last time that we had to deal with Fluffy?
Oh yeah, I told her to kill any Vasani she sees on sight.
What? She's
trained real well. She kills them all real good.
I really appreciate that. I love cats.
What does
But,
killing Vistani have to do with monsters?
Well, they serve straw, don't they?
Not so.
Not
Not
what
often.
we've seen.
Is that that's Fluffy outside, right?
Oh yeah, and you just hear this roar coming
Right.
from outside.
Gregory casts polymorph and turns Fluffy into a house cat.
And like the lead immediately slips off of her neck, and she just starts like scratching at the post like it's a scratching pole.
Gregory walks
that's
out,
more like
walks
it.
outside and just picks her up.
I don't suppose she would killing any Vistani, but she is
No,
quite cute.
See, why don't you leave the cleaning up of Barovia to the professionals that understand Vistani before it meets the eye? Shall we?
Sure, I'll kill some vampires and werewolves and whatnot.
Yes, I'll take good care of your saber-toothed tiger slashed.
Very good, jolly good. And so he hands you over the keys to his tower.
Gregory hands Marsh down, scat, like, this is not mine. This is not mine.
I'll take it.
And
I
him.
feel like BB also loves small, cute fucking animals.
Oh yeah, he's like so gentle. He's like so gentle with this tiny
Don't
cat.
give Lenny the rabbits. We might learn.
Did that provide some memories? He's not funny.
And
Gives Lenny vibes.
as you guys are all laughing and like, what was that all about? As Van Richten leaves, he also, you notice he left a journal on the bar. And on it says Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft.
They marched very good.
Yeah, and it basically has detailed notes of all of the different monsters that he's encountered while he's been in Barovia, their weaknesses, their strengths, where their dens are located, how to hunt them down, all sorts of stuff like that.
She pockets that what?
And Sergey and Irina come over to the group, and they say, "Wow, this is lovely. I see our numbers are growing." And they look up at BB, and he just smiles, and like his fangs are like sticking out, like Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
I know it's so generous of you already,
Dexter.
but I heard that you did the sword thing with Gregory.
Oh yes.
I think it would mean a lot to me, BB.
Do you want to be knights? Of course. Vanquishers of Strahd and Knights of the Realm?
I just think
Absolutely.
I think Sir, that's just a nice ring to it. Sir Mark.
Sir March. I love it.
Sir March.
No need to kneel. he just draws his sword and dubs you, and then he looks up at BB and he goes, "You will need to kneel." And he kneels, and he's still as tall as Sergey is, even kneeling. And Sergey reaches up to dub BB, and he stands back up to like his almost 9 foot tall height. And he says, "And
Marge just glowing.
you two, would you? I mean, while we're at it,
No, thank you.
fair enough. It's
I,
not for
I
everyone.
appreciate the offer.
Sure. I know, Theron, you serve a higher purpose.
So I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I have devoted my life to serving Ilmater, and the scars on my back bear many witness to that. But since being here in Barovia, turning the tide of darkness and restoring this land, and doing it in the name of the Morning Lord, I felt a purpose that I have never felt before. If you would have me, I think I want to help continue what we've started here. I would like to restore that cathedral, that Ravenloft, and
And you see Sergey's like his eyes are like getting watery as you're like telling him how you want to help restore his castle, and
seeing the darkness of that cathedral and what the Night Mother has done to this land. There's still more work to do. I'm not sure if our paths are the same, but I think there's more work to do. I think the Morning Lord has more work for me here, and if you'll have me, I would like to stay and help root out what the Night Mother has helped Strahd do to this place.
to have you stay. I would ask one favor of you, though. Theron, would you wed me at the arena?
Oh.
Would you proceed over the ceremony before you?
This is moving faster. I can't.
Oh yeah, like red flags.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're also were they already been engaged in the. I don't. What's the? How does that work?
Yes, I would love all of you to be in the wedding.
My king,
No,
it would be my honor.
I'm not your king. I am your friend.
I'm.
Too much wine for there.
Yeah.
That's a very emotional.
And so they sit down at the table with you guys, and Arena explains how all of her memories have like come flooding back, and that she feels the need to change her fate from just being this woman in Barovia. She wants to make a change, and she wants to start by going through with, like, she remembers putting on her wedding dress.
Right.
She remembers the ring that used to be on her hand, and she wants to go through with that and have them live their life together, making Barovia great again.
It's gonna be the best.
It's gonna be the best demi-plane. All of my friends have been to other demi-planes, and they say this demi-plane is the best demi-plane. It's the best one.
So good.
And so they asked if you would be willing to proceed over the wedding tomorrow at midday.
Boy, we waste no time. I'm gonna need some incense.
Oh,
I
can get you
used a
incense.
lot of it a couple days ago, and
we'll find you more.
you might have trouble.
I'll talk to my friend.
I used a lot of it.
Burn a lot.
We'll figure something out.
All right.
So,
But yeah, you absolutely, Lord Sergei.
please,
what-
it's just Sergey.
Okay.
Lord King.
Very
We
good.
are friends. We are friends.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think a cleric needs to be knighted. So
No,
I don't think
you're like an acolyte of your religion. You don't
Yeah.
have to be a knight. Also, it would be like if like a bishop got knighted.
right.
Kind of like you were already a bishop.
And it's so funny because like I was planning to do this like for weeks, so I didn't know like
I was, yeah,
You
because
guys
I've been
were-
thinking about this since last time. Like, am I gonna stay?
well, I mean, I kind of figured I was going to, and I know I talked to you.
yeah like
a little bit,
but like my decision to do that had nothing to do with your decision to do
No.
that, and I had we didn't talk about.
I had no idea who all was going to stay. Are you sure
Yeah.
you don't want to stay? Okay. As long as it's not just Dave.
Nah, Arthur wants to leave also.
Now, actually, I want to start hunting down some red wizards.
In fact, it's very difficult for me to like figure out, well, how do I talk about this without it just seeming like I'm copying.
No, I think all of us had a very
We have
different
different
reason.
Well, we all had different motives, and like I'll be the first to say, Gregory's motive is not pure heart. It's probably the
Yeah.
purest decision Gregory's made. But it doesn't mean that
It doesn't mean it's perfect.
doesn't mean it's a perfect decision. It's
And
still
Marge is chaotic, and to not have this purpose of fighting the biggest vampire that, you know,
Don't-
so she's struggling
Yeah.
with it.
Don't think that Theron isn't also staying to
watch
keep a side eye on
Gregory.
Gregory.
You're staying in the castle with us. She's not. You're staying in the castle
Yeah,
with us.
like I'm literally keeping a side eye on Gregory because while I'm impressed, I still know who he was,
Yeah.
and he's he's hoping for the. I mean, he's tried to stay positive. He's hoping for the best, but he also still doesn't. He would never 100% trust Gregory. For anyone that wants power, he's not gonna, fully trust.
No,
that person.
and that is very much a driving force for. It's not the driving force, but it's like definitely one of the driving forces. Ismark's another driving force for Gregory's. That like that sense of purpose and camaraderie.
person.
So it'd be really, it would actually be interesting. Like in a couple of years, we could revisit Barovia and our characters.
How are we doing? I have little
possible.
gnome and orc babies, and I am
Oh.
not
I don't know about that.
sure. Looks like
Yeah.
Humans.
a dwarf. Is that a little dwarf?
I mean, those, I think they're just
Half orc?
half orc elves.
Half gnome, half orc.
Mm-hmm. Probably a little shorter than a half orc, but yeah.
Yeah.
Or like hobgoblins.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Maybe that's where
I need them
hobgoblins
to
come
be
from.
cute.
I mean, they're good.
We're a cute couple, so I feel like
True.
they're trolls with little colored
Oh
hair.
yeah, trolls are so cute.
Trolls are cuter than hobgoblins.
Now we come to the part of the night where we get to find out who passes out from getting drunk first. So as the night continues and turns into more of a celebration and a party, the ale is
Oh, okay.
flowing.
They're
Trolls.
the little hip trolls.
Yeah.
They're just
I need a Constitution saving throw from all of you.
15.
Okay, Marge makes it through the first round of the drinking game.
21.
Theron is doing great. He might be a weepy drunk, but he can hold it.
Your boy's probably out with an 11.
Oh, an 11 just makes it. And a 14. Everybody makes it through the first round. You continue on, like now we're playing like truth or dare at the table. It's getting rowdy. Like people, like Marge
You
is,
get a body shot off
yeah.
this Marge.
Oh yeah, like
Smart.
yeah.
Anyone heard of Flip Cup?
You start playing
Flip,
flip
flip back.
It's a
mug, and there's literally just like
It's
wooden
flip
tankards.
goblet.
There's like wooden tankards flying everywhere. And Erwin comes and pours you all a second round. And now I need another Constitution saving throw from everyone.
8.
So 13.
Okay.
15.
13.
Okay. You three stay up.
Killing it.
Marge
Marge is out.
pounds back. She pounds back her mug of ale,
And
and
just
she
keeps
just
on going.
promptly falls off of Fifi's shoulders and just hits the ground with a thud. And he picks her up and he goes, Marge. And he like shakes you a little bit.
Gregory walks over. No, we don't. It's not. Well, I guess it's not shaking baby.
He like pokes you a couple times. He goes, Marge.
Baby.
Yeah.
Just hold her. She's fine.
And he holds you like a baby for the rest of the night and like holds you in his arms as he keeps drinking. Marge is unconscious.
Okay.
Spilling a lot of beer on you.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No?
I mean, maybe a little stuff.
Yeah.
He's actually very classy.
Yeah, he has a
likes
goblet.
fine wine.
He has like a crystal goblet
Yeah.
that he just has very lightly.
He's weird. He loves fluffy animals. He likes classical music, and he. Yeah, it's all
Gay. He loves music. There's many things. There's many things about him.
You heard that Katy Perry song?
Next round rolls around.
I don't know. It's 10.
Gregory, face forward, forehead off the
Ooh,
table. 16, 7. Theron, he gets up and he's just crying. He's like, I'm gonna save Barovia.
You're,
And he-
you're gonna miss. You're like, I'm gonna miss you guys.
and you start like crawling up the stairs to go to bed, and you fall asleep halfway up the stairs.
Oh god.
And Arkin, it's just you and Arthur
Oh yeah.
sitting at the table now, drinking, and he says, "So, I guess we're leaving, huh?
In the morning, yes.
Are we gonna see him off at the wedding, or take our leave?"
Take our leave.
I like it. Good Irish goodbye.
What's an Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll have to explain that one to them.
I'll tell you on the way out.
Sounds
And
Mystical land.
you clank your mugs together, and toast to future adventures, and the sun sets.
good. I tie up the the map and then write a little note and tuck that in and hand it to Erwin or Danigan, whoever, and let them know to hand that off to Gregory. When they wake up.
And Arthur writes a little note and pulls a dagger out from his thigh and stabs the note on the table. And the note just says, "Love you all, keeping the oath, Bo." Arthur.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And there's like a little heart scratched onto it also.
Is there an arrow shooting through the heart?
No,
Oh, that was a good one.
that would have been good. So you all go to sleep. You wake up the next day, a bit hungover, a bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
2 hours are
And
gone.
you wake to notice that Arthur and Arkin have seemingly left in the night. You find their notes, and it's a bit of a shock that they left before saying
I also
goodbye.
just feel like it is on character.
Yeah, but it's like kind of what they needed to do.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed but not surprised.
Sounds about right. And so you come to terms with that. You go about your day, reuniting, making preparations for the wedding, and the time comes for the wedding ceremony. And as everybody makes their way over to St. Andrew's, you notice that they have put a lot of work into restoring the chapel back to its former glory, and the sunlight is radiating in through the windows, and as everyone files in, you see Feyron, of course, Baby, and Marge. Have to be watching. Gregory and Ismark are on the bride's side.
Planning this whole project.
Oh yeah, the flowers look amazing.
yes.
Everybody's in like matching.
I'm like straightening like everyone's like fun
Yeah,
top.
you
did.
She looks stunning with
And Thayer, I believe you have a marriage ceremony, a speech prepared.
We come together on this momentous occasion to see Sergei von Tsarevich and Irina Kuliana rejoined in sight of the divine. Evil machinations schemed to separate them and would have seen their love lost to the sands of time. Yet evil, and even time itself, could not sunder that which has ordained by the divine. Somehow, you, Sergei, and you, Irina, have found each other once again. Your Highness, Lord King Sergei von Tsarevich, do you swear this holy oath to take Irina, formerly known to you as your betrothed Tatiana Ivanova, to be your bride and Queen of Barovia in this world and the next?
I swear it.
Irina Kuliana, do you swear this holy oath to take His Highness, Sergei von Tsarevich, Lord King of Barovia, as your husband and king, and in turn will you once again be his queen and justly and mercifully rule with him over all of Barovia in this world and the next?
I swear it.
Is there anyone present who would speak against this holy union?
BB just started laughing.
Yeah. And Ismark reaches over and covers your mouth with his hand. He's like,
your finger goes 3 months.
Then, as cleric and humble servant of the Morning Lord, the Dawnbringer,
Morning Wood.
the Lord of Light, it is my honor and privilege to rebind 2 lost souls together once again. I hereby pronounce you husband and wife, High King and High Queen of Barovia. What this oath binds together may no power in any realm tear apart. You may now shake hands.
oh, Lovely. They grab each other and kiss. And there's more townspeople like back in the church.
Gregory casts prestidigitation and fireworks are flying through the cactus.
And Ismark casts prestidigitation also, and like doves around inside the church.
Definitely getting some looks from like the pastor.
Oh yeah, Father Lucian's like at the back, and he's just like, you go out from this beautiful wedding ceremony, and this is where we sort of set off into the sunset. Barovia is ready to be restored. Faithful heroes ready to stay and bring it back to its former glory. Some friends have moved on, seeking other pursuits. But this is not where your stories end. Marge, you continue on with BB to Van Richten's Tower, where you set up a new monster hunting society in Barovia, and you take contracts from the wealthy lords of the different towns, taking your little cat with you everywhere you go. Every once in a while, it does turn back into a saber-toothed tiger,
Yeah.
right? And then you need to call
Yeah.
call Gregory and have him come back and polymorph us back.
Kill some Barovia,
Yeah.
some Vistani again.
So you and BB have this wonderful company and partnership with each other, and you basically resurrect your monster hunting business in the land of Barovia, and find that where it was kind of depressing and not very profitable back in Faerun, you're doing great here. Helps that you have like a super powerful magical sword and you're really, really strong now.
And that you're good at your job, whereas before,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, kind
It
of
sucked.
Yeah.
Before you were medium at the job, and now
Right.
you're really, really good at it.
Right.
Theron, after events unfold here in Malaki, Father Lucian approaches you later on and explains to you that he has been working on a lot of magical theory on how to bring souls back to the Barovians that are still wandering around soulless in the land. And that he thinks that a lot of the answers to that can be found in basically reversing the forces in the Amber Temple.
wow.
Throughout your time in Barovia, we're fast forwarding like many years into the future. You have made many ventures into the Amber Temple, learning its secrets, rooting out the forces of darkness there. And one of the things that you uncovered from the Lich that was in the Amber Temple is that there was another person other than Strahd who came to the Amber Temple at one point, seeking knowledge and secrets, and he was a being that sought immense power and studied under Orcus himself, the god of death and hell and demons, and that where Strahd's patron, Vampire, gave him eternal life as a vampire, Orcus granted this being a very different type of eternal life. Arkin. In the dark of night, years past the events of Barovia.
There was one thing that I would have wanted to do before heading out.
Yeah, before, okay.
When we got back to Barovia, the death house,
Yeah.
going up to the attic, I want to draw in a circle and put in some runes.
What are you warding it?
Now, set up a circle,
Like a seance circle?
teleportation.
Teleportation circle. Okay. Okay. You do that.
We have
And-
brunch sometimes.
And years down the line, you find yourself back in Faerun, and one night it almost feels like a dream, but you suddenly wake up from whatever type of slumber it is that you sort of do as a half vampire, and you see the shadows in your room start to coalesce into the shape of a very familiar woman. And sitting on a chair across from your bed, it looks like your mother, Annalise. As you talk with her, you realize that something is wrong, though. You sort of talk back and forth, ask her some questions, and she reveals that her true name is the Raven Queen, who is a deity that is obsessed with timelines, the multiverse, and memories. And that she has been watching you and is fascinated by the fact that you have lived multiple lifetimes and have multiple different memory versions from your time in Barovia.
So it's D&D Doctor Strange.
Kind of. And what she offers to you is a new pact wherein you serve her instead of your former patron, and she will give you powers to seek out a being that has been making his way through the multiverse, trying to destroy her and everything else. And she tells you that this being came from a planet called Earth, and that he is basically looking to find all the secrets of the multiverse and destroy everything.
You
Oh,
motherfucker.
it is Doctor Strange.
No, he's directly setting up potential for next campaign.
What? No. What are you talking about?
No, because I know what campaign you're gonna pick now. You confirmed it.
I don't know.
That's good DM shit right there.
Yeah.
I would accept.
And
How many years have passed?
about 2 years.
Okay, so just a little bit more powerful. But
Yeah.
yes.
You kind of hit like a plateau.
Yeah, like probably a level 12.
Well-
Just kinda done.
Like I said, I would have been hunting down red wizards that have been trying to build up the army of undead.
Gregory, you, over the years in Barovia, have helped Sergei along with Marge and Theron. You've all been kind of pursuing different routes of how you're trying to assist in restoring Barovia. One thing that you did is you started a wizarding college in Barovia.
It feels like Ismark was definitely pushing me to do it. It doesn't feel like Gregory was like, Ismark was like, please, we have the funding, you can do it. And Gregory said, oh, fuck,
It
fine.
would be good. It'd be good for everybody. One thing that you discover through the founding of this college over the years is that you've had students venture in from outside of Barovia.
Yeah.
You uncover a seditious plot by several of the students. They formed a Skull and Bones Society known only as the Whisperers. Marge, you receive a letter one day addressed to you from Arthur. And it says, "My dearest Marge and Bibi, I have used my influence with my contacts to gain information. While I have not journeyed back to Barovia to see you, I thought it prudent that you knew the severity of things out here. There have been disappearances in the town of Neverwinter. They leave calling card, and attached is this piece of paper, and on it is a picture of a withered hand with an eye right in the middle of the palm of the hand. He says, at your earliest discretion, I would request that you all join me as we seek to root out this evil. Yours truly, Arthur Whitford.
Would you say that we have kind of built, at least Marge and BB, that we kind of have trained others, we've kind of built like
Yes.
a little plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Like you have students, you have
Yeah.
like people that you know now. Gregory, you have many different mages and sorcerers and things like that that you have helped train. Theron, your adventures in the Amber Temple have led you to encounter many different types of people. So, with those clues, we will officially call Curse of Strahd to an end. After almost 2 years, we are done, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break for the summer, but I would love if maybe later on the summer we start back up with some of these clues for a next campaign.
Hell yeah.
And I will leave it up to you guys. Obviously, we can talk it out about whether you want to bring these characters. It'll be a high level campaign, more of it like a more advanced campaign. So you will be able to bring your 11th level characters over, or start new ones if you want. But the choice will be yours, and I will give you more clues and hints over the summer. Thank you guys.
Thank
You
you.
guys did really good. I like it.